Become the righteousness of God. Think about that for a while. Really think about it. Let it settle into our identity and being. Is God's righteousness our goal in our thoughts, words, attitudes, and actions? It ought to be. The great commandment of God is to love God with all our heart, all our mind, all our soul, and all our strength. 2 John 1:6. And this is love, that we walk in obedience to His commands. We seek God who is righteousness with all our heart, mind, soul, and strength. We fix our thoughts, speak, and act more on righteousness. We begin to transform into that righteousness and depend on it more and more. God's righteousness, becoming more present within our thoughts, hearts, choices, and actions, increases that righteousness. We choose our goals, thoughts, and what to learn. We are called to learn, understand, and know God. The textbook is the Bible. The skills to develop and practice are listed here. Those who claim to be followers of Christ ought to be those who are becoming increasingly more like Christ. If we are seeking God's will, giving our all, then we will indeed be growing into God's righteousness. This is a choice and rarely an easy one. Most of us will have a lot of correction to make to shift our hearts and minds from selfishness into righteousness. It means we will seek after new and different ways of thinking and acting. We will need to deny our old ways and embrace God's will in our new ways. As we participate in selfish thoughts, we are affected emotionally and socially. It affects our lives. To have more love, we must participate in love, compassion, empathy, and intimacy. We can receive God's goodness as we let ourselves experience righteousness. 2 Corinthians 10:5. We take captive every thought. This is a guide to apply ourselves more and more to improve our self-awareness, thought awareness, and to add in new thoughts that align with God's will, purpose, and ways. As we seek more about love, how love works, how peace is good, how patience helps, and experience such things, we can experience God's grace more and more. Over time, righteousness can grow as our learning of righteousness increases. As our experience with patience, forgiveness, and mercy improves, so does our experience with God's righteousness. The more our hearts, minds, and strength continues increasingly with God's goodness, the more we will be in God's righteousness. If we invest ourselves with diligence, perseverance, and endurance, after a while, the ones close to us will be able to see the difference and will also be affected by the increased grace.